I'm here with Steve and Raymond of 200 Stab Wounds. These guys are touring in Europe right now, almost finished, just a couple of dates left. But we are at Inferno in Norway, and welcome to Norway. How's things going?
Good. Today was an early show, so it was easy. And yeah, people showed up. I thought that when we came here today, because when the doors open, how it's been the whole entire tour, doors open and usually the room fills up super quick, and it was like not like that today. But it kind of filled up right before Vomit Forth went on, so we were worried, but it went well. So this show was sick. The whole tour's been sick.
You guys are road dogs, all right? Like, I see you guys on the road all the time. If there's a tour being announced, the chances are you guys are playing on that tour. I feel like you guys probably live off a suitcase. I don't know how often you've been home. Does that warn you guys out? Is that something that you're learning how to live with it, or maybe something that you guys really enjoy?
It's not that bad in the States or like Canada, but here, this one's like taking a fucking toll on us because we're not used to a bus. And even if you're not on a bus full of like 30 people like we were just talking about over there, I know buses kind of suck regardless because it's not real sleep. And, you know, when you're in a van in the States, you get hotels every night and shit if you can afford it, you know. But this is the most exhausting tour I've ever done in my life, ever.
Same for you?
Yeah, it's like, man, like not being able to like stop and take a shit like when you want is like.
You got a shit in a bag.
Dude, it's terrible. And like the bus is moving while you're trying to take a piss. It fucking reeks upstairs of feet and snoring. I mean, like sometimes you got to make sure to get some fucking food before the bus leaves, or you're fucked. So I mean, that's another thing. And sometimes shit's not even open, or there's nothing around where y'all are playing. So.
Well, and also the bus has to stop in a place where it's like big enough to accommodate that. So usually when the bus stops, it's literally in the middle of the fucking nowhere. It's like a huge parking lot.
I thought you guys were going to tell me that being on a bus is great, you know, like, we don't want the vans anymore, but the freedom of being in a van and doing kind of your own thing is definitely more appealing.
I'm sure it is, like, when you have, like, a bus with just, like, your band and your crew.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But, I mean, this one is, like, 25 people, and, you know, from the general consensus of
It's actually
everyone,
27 people.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, like, everyone's like, I've never experienced this many people on a bus before. So, it's, I mean, everybody on the bus is kind of having, like, their own, you know, like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Personality differences.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
That's all I'll say. Personality differences.
And you guys have been on the road for a while. Let me ask you this. When I saw you guys played in Toronto, I was there with a buddy of mine, and he referred to 200 Stab Wounds as caveman metal. Do you how do you feel when you hear something like that?
It's not bad. We're friends with a lot of those bands. I mean, we were when we first came out. And even, like, I guess our last record, because it's been 3 years, I guess you could kind of consider it that, but I don't really, though. Especially, like, the way we play now. Because even if you see us live now, I'm sure you can agree with that. We don't even, like, they're all still the same songs, but we play them differently. And I have a whole different vocal style now, so I wouldn't really consider it caveman at all. I think we're going more like, I don't know, it's like thrashy, like classic death metal. The best way I can describe it is like Eaten Back to Life style death metal now. Not what we, like, when we first came out, but the way we play now is kind of that style of Eaten Back to Life. It's like thrash death metal.
Being on the road so frequently and so often, does that create a hinder when it comes to working on new material to put a new record together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does. But, like, I know me and him are always writing when we're at home anyway. Because, you know, it's kind of hard to keep a job with, like, as hard as we tour. So, like, I'm found with a lot of extra time to, like, you know, sit around and write shit. But there is times where I'm just like, man, I just, like, played guitar for like 40 days straight and probably maybe like take, you know, a couple days to take a break or whatever. But yeah, I mean, physically getting together to write is a little hard though.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened with the record that we're about to put out, because we were on tour in 2021 and 2022 for like literally almost both of those years, like in full, like 9 months out of both of those years. Almost. So, like, we already signed to Metal Blade in 2022, and when we got home from that tour, they're like, all right, cool, go record the record, and we were like, well, we don't have anything because we've been on tour for fucking 2 years straight. So that's literally what happened. And then we had to kind of basically argue with Metal Blade to, like, push back the fucking, like, all the scheduling and the deadline and shit, because we we had stuff, but it was not good. You know, we had like ideas and stuff, but they weren't complete. So we kind of went back and forth with them for a while to let us get as much time as we could to get the songs together, make them really good, and to record them. You know, so yeah, touring that much does take a fucking. It affects how you can write music and like how quickly you can put out records too.
Does it affect also the promotion cycle for you guys? Because you know you work on the record, then you have to worry about the music videos, release dates, and then you know, do you want to release an album while you're on tour? Like, how do you manage all of that?
I mean, just like you said, like you know, us being on tour, you know, we have a tour. Like say, like we want to record the album, but we get like an awesome tour offer. It's like, well, which one?
Which one do you take?
Yeah, right. And same thing with like the music video kind of thing.
You always take the tour offer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's usually the way it goes. But you know, because I mean, the good thing is the album's coming out soon, so that'll give us some time to tour off of that before we have to, you know, we're still writing like in between, and it's not even out yet. So yeah, I mean,
You have some time.
yeah.
You have some time. You guys were here at Inferno, part of the festivities of day one. When you guys play a festival like this and you're not necessarily playing the main venue or the main stage, is that something that you guys put in the back of your mind that we're going to work towards next time around when we come here, we want to play on that stage? Or maybe it's not something that as important to you?
I mean, it's definitely important, but we don't really think about it. We just play, show up and play, and if people like us, then hopefully next year we'll get put on a different stage. But I mean, like this is the thing that a lot of people don't think about when you're talking about bands and shit. And it doesn't even necessarily like have to go into like the whole money thing, but you know, it does, but it doesn't have to go necessarily towards that. You can be a band and play like small venues, medium-sized venues, and you can still have a career almost, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter to us if we play the huge stage or the small stage. Honestly, most of the time we prefer playing the small stage to like a compact crowd. That's what we like. Obviously, it's cool to play like a huge stage or whatever and all that bullshit, but the coolest shows to us are the smaller ones. So when we do like a festival, you know, it'd be cool to be playing with like Candlemass, like actually with them, you know what I mean? Same venue, same lineup, you know. But the venue thing, not so much. We don't really care about that. It'd be cool to play later in the day, but also it's cool to play at 1 o'clock and be done.
That way you have the rest of the day to do whatever, to wait for a pizza. You have the rest of the day to wait for a pizza. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, I gotta ask this. Like I mentioned this to you off camera. When I saw you guys play in Toronto, I fell in love with you. You're like my spirit animal. Like I want to one day embody what you embody. Like I was taken back by not only your skill as a guitar player, but your presence and your style on stage. You have this swagger to you that you don't see every day. I mean, you normally see from the front man, but not necessarily from other members of the band. But you embody that. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of your own swag?
Not really. I'm just fucking rocking, you know, trying to drink a couple beers, you know, just, you know, have a good time, fucking, you know, I like watching the crowd a lot, you know, I like watching, like, the energy, like, you know, the feeding of, like, you know, if they're going fucking crazy, that makes me want to go more crazy, and I also like to watch that, too, but, yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm, like, I don't know, like...
Purposely doing it.
Yeah, consciously, like, you know, whatever. Yeah, just rocking. I don't know.
Steve, are you worried about him taking your spotlight as the front man?
No, because I know he can't do vocals. So no.
So that's the saving grace. That's the saving grace.
Yeah. Well, we all have our place in this shit, so, you know, we all... Because sometimes I get on everyone's ass. Like, I'm the fucking asshole of the band where if I feel like someone's slacking, I'll call them out, and I have to be that fucking dickhead. But... It's only because I know, like, everyone has their spot in the band. Like, I'm not the type of front guy or whatever that's, like, it's got to be me. Like, I come out fucking in, like, a cloak and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about me because I'm the front guy, even though some people try to make it that way. It's like, everyone in the band's important, you know? So,
I kind of got that vibe when I saw you. Like, you guys, like, feel like a family on stage. Like, everybody feeds off of one another. Everybody seems to have a really good vibe, and I think that comes across in the performance and also in the music that you guys make.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going hard, I go harder. Vice versa with everybody, you know what I mean? But, you know, there's shows we have where not everyone's putting in their 100%, and I get that. You know, there's days where I don't do that either. But the days where we're all, like, you know, there and in it, that's when we have, like, the best shows. Even if maybe the crowd's not necessarily the greatest, but there's shows we have where the crowd might not be the best, but we killed it, you know? And then there's, you know, vice versa, where the crowd's fucking amazing and we kind of sucked. But it's only because we went on tour for fucking 4 months or whatever. So, but yeah, everyone has their spot in this band. So, yeah.
One last question for you guys. You mentioned the new record. Is there a timetable for when fans can expect that to come out?
Yeah, so the first single comes out. Sorry, we just shot a video for it, right? So the first video we've ever done, that comes out the day before our U.S. tour with Dying Fetus starts, and then we do that whole tour, and then we do like the other single rollouts and shit. And I think the record's coming out in the summer.
I think that's a good window, the summer.
Yeah.
So for those that want to
Can't give you the exact date.
So for those that want to catch you guys on the road, the next tour is with Dying Fetus across North America. I know you guys are playing in Toronto as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Canadian dates.
Yeah, and the crowd always goes crazy for you guys. There's a lot of love in Toronto for 200 Stab Wounds. So first of all, thank you very much for the time. For those of you in North America that want to catch these guys, check out that tour. I'm going to put the tour dates in the description of the video to make life easier so you guys can go pick up some tickets, go see Dying Fetus, go see 200 Stab Wounds, and go see these two sexy beasts on stage killing it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.